Mac and all the lads were off to trade with you. Me and Mac and all the lads will give you the Windaloo.
Windaloo.
James, shut the fuck up!
Welcome back to Trading the Market. As you may have already guessed, we are going to be looking at a brand new TTM original strategy called the Windaloo. How many times have you tried to predict who is going to win a football match? How many times over the years have you placed a win acker so sure and adamant these teams will win the game only for them to end up losing? What if you could use data to help you predict the likely winner of a match every week? Well, we have you covered. In this video, we are going to dive deep into a hot and profitable strategy I have coined the Windaloo. Are you all ready to learn more? Well, let's get cracking. First up, we are going to need our filters to provide us with the relevant selections every week. Instead of sharing them right away, I will build them for you and take you through my thought process for each one. Now, before I start, what I will say is you may be surprised just how simple these filters are. Not every strategy needs 10 different filters to show us how to win football trades. In the Windaloo, you will be shocked to see only 3 filters start to finish. Yes, you heard that right, just 3 filters to pick winning teams in football matches. Now, as a side note, I will just mention I am prepared for the 3-step process that follows any strategy I create and share. First is the praise and adulation for yet another simple and profitable strategy, lauding me as a genius and trading god. Then comes the moderate backlash for not having a 100% strike rate, and oh my god, this strategy is so dangerous. And third and finally, the you are a scammer, a guru. And I'm sure you picked me up pissed as a fart in town on Saturday night in your Uber. I am very much accustomed to this 3-step process, so allow me to retort.
Your mouth is moving a lot like a rat. Yappa, 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 yappa. Shut it, please.
Anyway, back to the filters. The first filter is already set for us, and this as always is a minimum 8 games played to give us enough data for current form. Let's add the second filter, which is form, then HVA, which is home versus away. We want to apply this to the average, and then a min, max, absolute number of 15. This will give us a rating of any team plus 15 or higher or minus 15 and below, and this will show us teams with a stronger attack and defence value than the other, which I will show you in depth shortly. The third and final filter we will need to add is form, then PPG last 8, which is points per game last 8, and apply this to the average once again and over 1.5. This will filter matches that have a high points per game average and more often than not be in favour of one team, the stronger team. Now that we have our filters set up, and I did say this would be very simple, we can now see we have the selections to pick from below. Now, before we get into picking selections to trade on or build ACCAs with, let's quickly take a few more steps and also backtest it. If I click backtest and select the Windaloo strategy, you will see the filters are loaded in. And if I scroll down, I can now add my filters to backtest with. I want to look for games where one team has finished the match with 1 goal more than the other, meaning we have a winning team in every outcome. I shall keep all 141 leagues within the test. Keep the first filter set to win by, then period to test, whole match. Below we want to filter either team, then win by, over, and goals set to 0.5 goals. Below this, I want to add pre-match odds into the selections, and this will also be true when selecting matches going forward. The pre-match odds we will need are match odds market, home or away, and then below odds of 1.5. This will use the filters we have created, and a match odds favourite with odds lower than 1.5 before kickoff. As you can see below, this is what the test says. Filtering matches using my strategy filters. From these matches, I'm looking for either team to have scored at least 1 goal more than the other team and checking all leagues. So let's hit run backtesting. This will now check the criteria against 141 leagues and over 70,000 previous matches. As you can see from the results, This has a 87.45% success rate of picking a winning football team in any of our filtered matches. From 70,937 matches, our filters produced 1,546 matches, of which 1,352 were successful and just 194 failed. It's quite tremendous when you think about it, eh? So now that we can see our strategy is successful, let's head back over to the strategy page and add the odds of 1.5 and below into our filtering, and then we can have a look at some selections for the week. So below Choose Leagues you will see an option for Sportsbook odds. Within this we can select odds for whatever markets we want to look at. In this case we want the match odds markets for home and away. Let's add in the Betfair and Bet365 odds markets into our filters and click Save Filters. Now you will see the Betfair and Bet365 match odds markets have been added next to our filters, and we can now use these to aid us in picking winning teams. Just as we used in the backtest, we will only look for matches with an odds on favourite with odds of 1.5 or below. The rest we will remove from our selections. When I click the Bet365 odds tab at the top, this will filter in order of lowest to highest for the home teams, and now you can easily see which games we would potentially choose from our filters and odds below 1.5. If I do the same for the Bet365 odds away, this will also show the lowest to highest odds for all the away teams and make the selection process even easier for picking strong away teams. It's as simple as that. Now it's entirely up to you how you proceed with this data, whether you are placing single win bets on each team with a bookmaker, which I often do, or building accumulators, of which I would always advise to keep them small to maximise your chances of success, as one team losing will destroy your ACCA, or trading in the match odds market on the exchange and trading out once your back team has taken the lead in the game, or even using this data in a bet builder. The possibilities are plentiful. If you decide to alter the odds in any backtest yourself, you will see that anything below odds of 1.5 will result in an even higher strike rate, but this will filter less games and provide less value in the odds. If you push the odds and test the opposite way and go above odds of 1.5, you will also note the strike rate dramatically decreases, and this is why I have chosen odds of 1.5 to be the sweet spot and necessary to provide value. And as you can see on screen, at odds of 1.5, we need a 66.7% strike rate to be profitable. So our strike rate of 87.45% is incredibly positioned to yield a profit. Now whilst we have our filters set up and a few selections to look at, why not delve deeper into a couple of fixtures, and I will show you exactly what I do with each match when deciding to trade, bet or throw into an accumulator. So first let's scroll down the list and let me click into the Galatasaray match. The page I am most interested in to double down on the statistics is PPG within the Form tab. Looking at this table, it gives us a quick and concise look at both teams' season's points per game and last 8 points per game. Also within this we can see the opponent's last 8 PPG and the bias between these numbers. So first looking at the away team, which in this case is Galatasaray, we can see they have 2.78 points per game for the season. In the last 8 matches they have a points per game of 2.75, which shows they are very consistent overall. Their opponents faced in the last 8 games have an average points per game of 1.2, and the PPG bias is 1.55. The bias is the opponent's last 8 PPG subtracted from Galatasaray's last 8 PPG, and this is still a positive number of 1.55. It shows Galatasaray are performing well even against the better performing teams in the Turkish Super League. So looking at the home team, they have achieved a points per game of 0.5, and in the last 8 games a points per game of 0.75. So although they are not performing well over the season, they are performing slightly better than their season average in their last 8 games. Their opponent's last 8 PPG of 1.5 suggests they have faced much better performing teams, and the PPG bias of minus 0.75 tells us they are not collecting many points at all against those teams in their last 8 games. If we look to the far right, you can see the attack and defence ratings for both teams based on the season stats. Starting with Galatasaray, we can see they are ranked 1st in offence and 4th in defence. The home team are ranked 17th in offence and 16th in defence, which shows us straight away that Galatasaray are the stronger team on paper. The HVA, home versus away figure, is 28, and this measures the ability and strength differences between the two teams. It's calculated as home offence plus home defence minus away offence plus away defence. So this would be 17 plus 16 equals 33, and 4 plus 1 equals 5, and then 33 minus 5 gives us our 28. Now, a negative number indicates a performance advantage to the home team, and a positive number indicates an advantage to the away team. So the 28 being a positive number indicates the away team is the stronger team, and this is the same figure we are using in our filter above. The match also sees a goal edge figure of -1, which suggests there will be goals within the match also. With odds below the 1.5 threshold, I would be backing Galatasaray for the win. Now let's take a look at another match from the filters. Let's go with FC Volendam versus Vitesse. Clicking into the form tab once again and looking into the PPG columns, we can see for Volendam they have a points per game of 2.05 for the season. In the last 8 games they have a points per game of 2.5, which shows they are performing better than their season average over the last 8 games. Their opponent's last 8 points per game is 1.3, and their PPG bias is 1.2, which shows again that although they are facing decent performing teams, they are still collecting a good amount of points. Now for the away team, Vitesse have a points per game of 0.9 for the season, and the last 8 points per game of 0.88, which shows they are not performing well in the league over the season and in their last 8 matches. Their last 8 opponents' points per game is 1.33, which is very similar to Volendam's opponents, and the PPG bias is -0.45, which again shows Vitesse are not performing well this current season or within their last 8 games. Looking at the offence and defence rating, this shows that Volendam are ranked 1st in the league in offence and 7th in the league for defence. Vitesse are ranked 15th in the league in offence and 20th in the league in defence, and this gives us a home versus away of -27 and shows us straight away that FC Volendam are the stronger performing team within this fixture. With a goal edge of 0.5, this indicates there will be goals within the game. Again, with odds below the 1.5 threshold, I would be backing FC Volendam for the win. Now, the beauty of making this video a few days after the matches have played, I already know the results and I can show you the bet I placed had both of these teams within a treble. Yes, the bet lost. We cannot win them all, but here are the results and the attack momentums of both games. So as you can see, both teams dominated their respective games. FC Volendam won by 4-0 and Galatasaray drew 1-1. The third game within my treble was also on the filters for the weekend just gone, and this also ended in a 1-1 draw, with the favourites Al Ittihad also dominating the match and having missed 2 penalties, conceding late and pulling back a late goal and securing a draw. Now, despite me showing you a losing bet, the Windaloo strategy is a fantastic and powerful set of filters. Yes, the filters are very simple, but they do work long term. On screen you will see all the single bets I placed over the previous weekend and a couple of accumulators for good measure. Now let's talk about why the Windaloo strategy is so effective, especially at the odds of 1.5 or below, and how the 87.45% strike rate comes into play. At these odds, we're focusing on matches where one team is a clear favourite. This doesn't mean every selection will win. No strategy can promise that, but with an 87.45% strike rate, we're working with a high probability of success. When you constantly pick winners at odds of 1.5, the cumulative effects of those wins can lead to steady and sustainable profits. This strike rate means that in nearly 9 out of 10 selections, the favoured team pulls through. It's this consistent edge that helps balance out the occasional losses and keeps you in the green over time. As I show you these winning bet slips on the screen, each of these represents a well-informed decision, backed by data and filtered through our carefully designed system. While there will be losses, because that's the nature of any trading or betting game, The key is that the wins significantly outnumber the losses, creating a net positive outcome. By focusing on selections with odds at or below 1.5, you're taking a calculated risk with a strong likelihood of success. This is where the Windaloo shines, offering a disciplined approach that doesn't rely on chasing high odds or taking unnecessary risks. Instead, it's about building consistent wins and watching your profits grow steadily over time. So even if every selection doesn't win, the high percentage of successful bets ensures that you're not just breaking even, but actually moving towards profitability. It's a long game strategy, and with patience and discipline, it's one that can deliver impressive results. Using just 3 simple filters, you can significantly increase your chances of picking winning football teams. It's important to note that whilst this strategy gives you a very strong edge, it does not guarantee that teams will always win. What it does is heavily guide you towards teams that are more likely to come out on top within a fixture, and thus helping you make more informed decisions. So whether you're placing single bets, building accumulators, or trading in the match odds market, use these insights to enhance your profitability in betting and trading. As always, keep testing and refining, and remember that even the best strategies have their misses. So stay disciplined, enjoy the process, and I'll catch you in the next video. I've been James, this has been the Windaloo strategy, and we are all trading the market. And until next time, happy trading.